Now, we're at the bottom of the page. Do you see, Meno, what point this boy has now reached on his path of recollection? For at first he didn't know what is the side of the 8 square foot figure, just as he doesn't know, he doesn't yet know now either. But even if so, he thought that he knew it, that he knew then, and answered confidently, supposing that he knew, and didn't think that he was perplexed. Now he realizes that he is now at a loss, and he just doesn't in fact know. So also he doesn't even think he knows. Okay, so somehow the boy now realizes he's been giving some wrong answers, and he doesn't know what the answer to the question is. You're right. Isn't it a better state? This isn't. Then, excuse me, line just before 5, Socrates is saying, then isn't he now in a better state with regard to the things he didn't know? Meno said, seems so. So it looks like, they're making some headway. What's the conclusion? So let's see. So in causing him to be at a loss or to be numb, as the electric ray does, surely we haven't done him any harm. So, hey Meno, you give me a hard time that I confuse people, but obviously I got this guy to the point where he understands that there are certain things he thought he knew that he doesn't. So now Meno grants him, okay, indeed what we've done is useful for his finding out how the matter is. Let me read that again. Line 10. Indeed, we've done something useful, as it seems, for his finding out how the matter is. It's me. Indeed, we've done something useful, as it seems, for his finding out how the matter is. For now, he might actually inquire, he might actually wonder into it gladly, as he doesn't know. I mean, one thing we've done is we kind of motivated him. He realized he doesn't know, whereas then, beforehand, he thought he could easily speak well to many people, and on many occasions about the figure twice the size, saying that it must have a side twice the length. Okay, it seems so. Then, do you think he would have tried to inquire into or learn what he thought he knew, though he didn't before he was plugged into the perplexity, realizing that he didn't know and felt the need for knowledge? Well, isn't this something that motivated him? This whole process of inquiry, isn't it something that's motivated to find something? Then I don't think Meno agrees. Socrates, he's benefited. Yes, I think so. He's been benefited by being dumb. He says, well, we're going to show him the rest of the stuff, and let me go to the next set of diagrams that I have on another page, and we'll quickly walk through this one, because this is what he takes the slave boy through. He says, let's take a look at it. Here's what we have so far. That's 2, that's 2, that's 2. All of these are 2. And that makes up A, B, C, D, makes up a 4 square foot unit. A, B, C, D, that one. He says, but now, kid, take a look at it. We have this line called diagonal, and what does it do to this square? And if you look, one's a mirror image of the other, so it just puts one on the mirror image of the other. It says we have 2 triangles. Now, if it divides this square in half, it means that it's in 2 equal parts. So we have one triangle, it's 2 square feet, and one triangle, it's 2 square feet. But now notice, let's cut a diagonal in the next box. Cut a diagonal in the next box, cut a diagonal in the next box, and all these 4 triangles are 2 each, which adds 2 times 4 is 8. That's exactly twice the A, B, C, D. Right? And he tells the boy, isn't that right? Okay, so now it looks like he has learned something. And let's scroll down, because we see that's exactly what's gone on in the dialogue. He has this demonstration. It will eventually scroll up. And then we see, if you read it closely, he's going to figure out. And he says, well, down here, let me just scroll it right to the top. We see Socrates. It's just before C over here. Take a look at C. What do you think, Meno? Is there any opinion this boy answered that isn't known? Meno says, no, you guys have to determine. Do you think that's right? And yet, he didn't know the answer, as we said a while ago. You're right. But these opinions were in him, weren't they? The opinions were in him. Yeah. So the person who doesn't have knowledge about whatever it may be he doesn't know, has in him true opinions about what he doesn't know. It appears so. Well, now these opinions have been newly aroused in this boy, as if in a dream. But if someone asks him these same things many times in many ways, you can be sure in the end he will come to have exact knowledge of these things as well as anyone else does. It seems so. Then he will come to have knowledge without having been taught by anyone, but only having been asked questions, having recovered this knowledge from himself, this innate knowledge. Yes, and isn't recovering knowledge in oneself recollecting? Isn't that just memory? Certainly. Then didn't this boy either acquire at some time the knowledge which he now has, or else possess it? Wasn't I right? Didn't he have it? Didn't the priests and the priestesses have the answer? And now we just scroll down and Meno says yes. Okay, so where are we? Did the kid learn geometry? Did he not learn geometry? I mean, it's pretty clear that something has gone on here, but the question is really what? And the first question, it seems, are we now convinced Socrates has shown that this paradox of inquiry, that you never can get knowledge, that there is a problem with it? Has he demonstrated that it is wrong? And question number 2, this is one I want you to write about. Is all of this dependent on the soul being immortal? As you see, if down at the bottom of the page 10b, Socrates is about to say, then if the truth about these things, let me scroll it up, then if the truth about these things that are is always present in our soul, won't the soul be immortal? So that you must confidently try to search for and to recollect what you don't happen to know now, that is, what you don't happen to remember. I think you're right, Socrates, but I don't know how. He thinks he's right too, and then they're back at, well, excellence could be, excellence looks like it can be taught, but going back, how has the paradox been solved? How has the paradox been solved?